program, we have Henry Alessandroni, the writer. He just completed a fantasy fiction trilogy, and I'm holding the book right here, and he is right here with me. Henry, good to meet you. Pleasure.
Thank you, Jim. Very good
and,
to be here.
Tell us about Inizar. You're a writer, you're an actor, you're a musician, you do it all. You're a Renaissance man.
Pretty much.
But let's talk about Inizar first of all.
Well, Inizar, it is a trilogy. There's 3 books. The first one is The Birth of Kings. The second one is The Sword of Tristan. Third one's The Dragon's Breath. Here is what you see here is the compilation of all 3. It was written for my daughters. The first one was written for my daughters, and it just kind of snowballed and rolled and took a lot of interest, and a publisher was interested, and I said, let me finish all 3. Let me get it out there, and here it is.
And you wrote it for your daughters. Was it a legacy piece, or was it you weren't happy with what they were reading to begin with?
Well, I was happy that they were reading, period. What happened was some years ago, a fantasy fiction novel came out and was very popular, drew a lot of interest, got a lot of kids reading, but there was a section of kids that felt pressured to read it and just couldn't get through it. I actually read it, and I don't mean to be harsh, but I thought it was a little overrated. So I said to my daughter, I promise you I'll write one. I'll write one, and it'll be Tolkien-esque, because she loved Lord of the Rings. She read the books. Right. She was 13 and read all 3. Wow. Which is, if you've read them, is
I haven't read a single word.
it's a hard read.
Yeah.
Mine is not. Mine's a quick read. There's a lot of depth to it, but I wrote it for her, and as I said, she loved it, and it just, from there, people just got onto it.
Take us through the past, though. Have you been writing for years, and it was a culmination when you wrote the first one, and then a publisher picked it up, and you just exploded from there?
Well, writing is just writing. You start it, you end it. I've been writing since I was a kid in school, plays, etc. With this one, fantasy fiction, there's a misconception. I was having this interview with Tanya outside in the cafeteria.
Our guest liaison, yeah.
Yeah, she's a great liaison, thank you. And I was telling her, I said, if you take the fantasy fiction, take away the dragons, the wizards, whatever's in there, put it to modern day, you can replace them with politicians and kings and whatever, and you have the same storyline.
Writers, I have a lot of respect for writers, especially fantasy fiction and science fiction of that genre, especially when it comes from an adult, because I mean adults, it seems to me, have lost all imagination. They can't think outside of the box, or they just don't have time, which is natural. Right. I mean, how do you manage to deal with that?
Well, writing, if I give any advisement to anyone, it takes time. You have to find the time. As far as the imagination, it's part of what I am. It's part of what my children are. This was written, the first book was written in 2003. My daughter Anya, who is celebrating her birthday on Thursday. Happy birthday. Yeah. We've always had vivid imaginations, all of us. I've gotten into trouble for it sometimes, but
we all have.
We all have. So it's just, don't let go of the child.
Yeah. Do you see yourself writing more? Perhaps.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, my daughter, again, Anya. I have 2, Anya and Julian, but Anya is the one that says, "Well, I need the other ones."
She needs closure.
Well, there is closure. This stands alone, but there are 9 in my head. There are 9.
Wow.
There's a post trilogy and there's a preceding trilogy. They all stand alone, which is good, but like most fantasy fiction novels, you can go on and on and on and on, and as long as the author has the imagination and a good storyline and people to read it, and that's why I'm here.
As I said, you are a musician, you're a singer, you're an actor. Where do you find the time to not only sit down and write, but to imagine?
Anywhere. I'll tell you, some of the best storylines came out of the bathtub, just lying there taking a bath.
I can believe it.
Yeah, so, you know, you just find it where you can. Doing dishes, I love doing dishes because nobody likes to get near the dishes, even when you're doing them. So you sit there, you do the dishes, and you're focusing on whatever it is you need.
Tell us about your acting career. You've been in several TV series. You've also performed on Broadway in New York. I mean, this is a huge career you've had. I mean, I congratulate you on your accomplishments. You're also a local boy.
Yes.
So, I mean, tell us about your accomplishments, if you would.
Well, I did grow up in Oshawa, and then when I was 17, I went to college to take up theater. Unfortunately, I did have to go to Toronto, and when I say unfortunately, Oshawa is a great city. There's a lot of people that give it a bad rap, and I say, you know what, stay where you are, because I love Oshawa. Don't come here if you're going to badmouth it.
Right.
I did come back. I do live here. People now realize that Oshawa is not as far as they once thought from Toronto. So, especially with email and internet and fax machine, I get scripts faxed to me, emailed to me, and then I just show up. I was telling you before we went on air that I have an audition this afternoon. So,
right. And we wish you all the best of luck as well. And
thank you.
I mean, you're a true homeboy, as I'll say. But where can we pick up the book here, the trilogy?
The book? Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to say. It is through lulu.com, okay. lulu.com. Just query my name. You can Google my name or the title on the internet. I show up on several mediums. Or if anyone locally actually wants a signed copy, just email me either at inizar@rogers.com or type in my name at rogers.com.
Henry Alessandroni, a pleasure to meet you, and I wish you all the best of success.
Thank you. Very pleasure to meet you.
More daytime coming up after this. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what?